Hey guys, Manny from the Goods Podcast here, and I just finished watching Prey, aka Predator 5. And I just got to say that movie is pretty freaking amazing, to be honest with you. When you're looking at Predator as a franchise, it came out in 87. And you look at the onslaught of movies that came out in 87, Lost Boys, RoboCop, La Bamba, Hellraiser, fantastic freaking movies all around, right? Predator sticks out the most, to be honest with you, and not just because Arnold. Arnold's obviously fantastic in everything he does, but you look at that ensemble: Jesse Ventura, Shane Black, Bill Duke, the late Sonny Landham, Billy Bear from 48 Hours, and of course Apollo himself. Carl Weathers is in this. The ensemble is absolutely amazing. Kevin Peter Hall steals the show, obviously, as the Predator, right? So it's, you get started on this franchise, which unfortunately never saw Arnold back again, unless you count Hunting Ground, which is a PS5 game, PS4 game. But you come full circle to, as far as that individual against this machine, this man machine, really, because the hunter of what the Predator is absolutely terrifying and overwhelming, to be honest with you. But now you have a female protagonist as opposed to, some big macho group and all that. So let's get into it right then and there. Story-wise, it's a pretty standard Predator story. But the other element of it, where in the first one you have, these mercenaries that are going into the jungle to try to save hostages or try to save some American soldiers and all that. This one is completely different. This is more of a coming-of-age story within the Comanche tribe. But the difference is now we're looking at it from a Mulan-esque type of view with the female. Played by Amber Midthunder, and she is phenomenal. That's all I got to say. Her execution of the role is beyond words. She is absolutely magnificent in this movie. I can't help but looking at her every now and then thinking it's Aubrey Plaza, but it is not. Amber Midthunder is a great actress, and I hope she comes back as a descendant for future Predator movies, I swear. But anyway, so you have this different aspect of the Predator as far as everything is so primal and it is so really barbaric, because there is nothing high tech, advanced tech, none of that really on the human side. But there is always the heart, the will to survive, and that is where that is where it completely, makes you really, makes the protagonist really work for what it is that they want to do, and that is to obviously kill this Predator. The kills, let's just talk about that. The kills are fantastic. This Predator is brutal. This is like the great-great-grandfather of the Predators. So, he is equally challenged as well with a lot of the weapons and all of that he has, but still has higher advance. They're in a damn spaceship, so yeah. So his species is still advanced, but the hunting and the game is different. This does not just stop at man. This continues to animals. So what he does to wolves, what he does to bears, like the bear scene is absolutely amazing. And damn it, Leo needed this guy in Revenant, but it's all right. So either way, the kills were absolutely fantastic. Once we get to a certain point, obviously it's a slow build. It is going to be a slow build. You got to have a lot of patience when it comes to this movie, but it is a slow build, and you're going to gradually see the progression in Amber Midthunder's character and the Predator itself. So once it starts building up and getting closer and closer, the action is nonstop. The kills are fantastic. There are so many great kills and awesome Easter eggs also for Predator 2. So you really, really want to pay attention to that. Towards the end, there are some scenes here and there that pretty much kind of dictate what happened after. So it gives you an idea of how it comes full circle in Predator 2. I cannot praise the movie enough as far as when you're looking at the high expectations that 2018's The Predator had, especially having Shane Black come back as that director who played Hawkins in the original Predator. So who knows that franchise better than him outside of Arnold, right? So, the expectations for The Predator was so high, especially when you have, a cast like Olivia Munn and Thomas Jane, and, you have some pretty good people there. And it just didn't work for whatever reason. Laboratory Massacre was fantastic, but that's about it, right? So what Prey does, like I said, is just, it takes you back to the old school, literally deep old school, and gives you just a different outlook. And having a female protagonist, I think, actually raises the stakes a little bit higher. When you had Sanaa Lathan, who is the first female protagonist in a Predator film, you have her. She has help. She has help with one of the other Predators. Amber's completely by herself, and her resources are completely different. She is creating her own weapons, with a rope attached to the axe, and her mastering that, similar to how a ninja would or samurai would. And, it's just when you're looking at her and how she is handling certain things, I mean, you just can't help but root for her even more. You do get a lot of Mulan type of vibes and a lot of elements of that trying to fit in type of environment, especially for her. She's trying to prove herself, and she really does. In her war cry at the end, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but her war cry and how she presents herself to her tribe, I mean, it is awesome. It is really awesome. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of questions. Obviously, where it goes from there, and yes, you actually could have Amber Midthunder come back in a different role, in a descendant role, so you can still have her back. But where does it go from here? Is this the beginning of a new trilogy in that Comanche era? I don't know. But it ranks up there, honestly, with the original Predator in '87. That's the GOAT. Nobody's ever going to beat that. Especially Kevin Peter Hall's performance as Predator was amazing, and thank God it wasn't Jean-Claude Van Damme, right? So, but this movie, it ranks up there with the GOAT. And it also, honestly, I kind of like Predator 2 a little bit, only because of the continuity as far as, the callback with Gary Busey's character to '87. I kind of like that little bit of continuity there. The kills in Predator 2 were also fantastic, so I'm not going to front on that. Predator in the big city, concrete jungle this time, I liked it a lot, to be honest with you. But Prey is up there, honestly. As a matter of fact, I am going to make it number 3. I'm going to make it number 3 in my ranking. I'm going to give number 4 to AVP, and I'm going to give number 5 to Predators with Adrian Brody. Underrated film, to be honest with you. There are some pretty good things in that. Could have done a little. I mean, you could have gotten a little bit more out of Lawrence Fishburne in that one, but either way, Brody was great in that movie. I liked Predators, so Robert Rodriguez did really good on that. So, but this one, Prey stands on its own, and I look forward to there being more stories on it, more continuation, and more of Amber Midthunder. Getting high praise. Is currently the highest rated film on Hulu ever. Rotten Tomatoes has given it a lot of love, so it is definitely a success. If 20th Century Studio, aka Disney, decides to reward us and putting this movie on the big screen for 1 week engagement, maybe 2 week engagement, I think that's the way to go. If this turns into a thing where they want to do the streaming for the first 4 weeks and then release it, you're wasting your time. Definitely get on top of it. Definitely push pause on the streaming and put this in theaters. This movie deserves to be in the theaters for sure. It would. I mean, obviously the audience is wider in streaming, but it definitely deserves to be on the big screen. Terrence and I will hopefully get together and talk a little bit more on Prey, and so keep an eye out for that.